Hello, everyone. Welcome to King English Podcast. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and suddenly you can speak English clearly and confidently. You do not freeze. You do not translate in your head. You just talk. This may sound like a dream, but today, I will share a method that can bring you much closer to that dream if you want to improve your English speaking skills. There is one thing you cannot avoid. You have to practice. Speaking grammar books alone will not help. Listening to hours of English will not help if your mouth never moves. You must open your mouth and speak. That is the only way to build fluency. But here comes the problem. What if you do not have anyone to practice with? What if you are learning alone at home without a partner or teacher? Can you still make progress? The answer is yes. And today, you will learn a simple but powerful method that allows you to practice by yourself. This method is called imitation. Imitation means learning to speak English by copying and then expressing ideas in your own way. This is not about memorizing. This is not only repeating exact words. This is about training your brain and your mouth together so that you can take ideas you hear and make them your own. Let me explain how it works. First, you listen to a conversation, a story, or a short talk. You pay attention to the meaning. You do not just hear the words. You try to understand the idea. Then, after a few seconds, you stop the audio or video, and you try to say the same idea using your own words. That is imitation. For example, let us say the speaker tells a story like this. When I was a child, my parents liked to pretend that Santa Claus would bring us presents at Christmas. Now, you listen carefully, and then you say it again. But maybe in your own way, you might say, when he was young, his parents acted like Santa Claus brought him gifts for Christmas. You are not copying word by word. You are expressing the same idea in your own style. Let us try another line. The speaker says, so when my siblings and I woke up on Christmas morning, there would be a bunch of presents in front of the fireplace. You can imitate this by saying, when he and his brothers and sisters got up on Christmas morning, they saw many gifts by the fireplace. Do you see the difference? You are still keeping the meaning, but you are training yourself to create sentences naturally. This kind of exercise is very powerful because it forces you to listen, understand, and then speak. It is not passive. Learning it is active training. And the best part is that you do not need anyone else. You can do it by yourself, anytime, anywhere now. There are many ways to practice imitation. One way is to copy small parts. For example, repeat short phrases or single sentences. Another way is to copy bigger parts, like several sentences together. And a third way is to listen to the whole speech and then try to deliver it yourself from start to finish. Suggest that you use all of these methods together. I like to call this the easy to hard imitation method. It follows the idea of progressive training. That means you begin with something simple and then slowly increase the difficulty. Just like when you exercise your body, think about learning to play a sport. When you first start, you practice small moves. You repeat them again and again until they feel easy. Then you combine them into bigger moves. Finally, you play the full game. The same process works with language. You start with small sentences. You move to bigger ideas, and then you train to express an entire story. Here is how you can practice. Step 1. Choose a short video or audio clip in English. Pick something interesting. Maybe a short story, news report, or podcast. Step to play the clip and stop after one short sentence. Repeat it in your own words. Step 3. After some practice, try pausing after longer parts and repeat them. Step 4. When you feel ready, listen to the entire clip and then try to deliver the whole thing yourself. You may be thinking this sounds hard. Yes, it is challenging, but that is the point. The brain learns best when we push a little beyond our comfort zone. Studies in learning show that progressive difficulty builds real skill faster than staying at the same easy level. Limitation gives you many benefits. First, it helps you build correct sentence patterns. You are not inventing random grammar rules. You are listening to natural English and repeating it. Second, you learn useful vocabulary, idioms, and expressions that people really use in daily life. Third, you practice grammar without thinking too much about rules. This is called implicit learning. It happens naturally, without conscious study. Think about how babies learn their first language. They do not sit with a grammar book. They listen, they imitate, and slowly they build sentences correctly. Without knowing the rules, you can use the same process for English. When you do imitation, you do not stop to ask, why did the speaker use present perfect? Here you simply copy the idea later. After many repetitions, your brain will understand grammar patterns naturally. You will begin to use them correctly without stress. Another important benefit of imitation is focus on communication. You are not worrying about every tiny rule. You are concentrating on expressing meaning. That is the real purpose of language. And the more you practice this way, the more confident you will feel when talking to real people. Now, let me share a practical routine you can follow. Start with just 10 minutes a day. Play a video. Pause after each short sentence. Repeat it in your own words. Do this for 1 week. Next week, increase to 15 minutes. After a few weeks, challenge yourself with full speeches. If you keep doing this for 1 or 2 months, you will notice a huge change in your fluency. You may wonder, should I worry about pronunciation? The answer is yes and no. Of course, pronunciation matters. But at the beginning, focus on ideas, not on sounding perfect. As you repeat more and more, your mouth will naturally get used to the sounds. Over time, your pronunciation will improve. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are part of the process. Remember, your goal is not perfection. Your goal is communication. Every time you try, you are training your brain and building confidence. Another tip: choose materials that you enjoy. If you love movies, imitate dialogues from movies. If you like sports news, imitate sports commentary. If you prefer podcasts, imitate podcasts about your favorite topic. The more interested you are, the easier it is to stay consistent. Let me give you one more example. Suppose you watch a news clip. The reporter says the company announced a new product yesterday. You can imitate by saying yesterday. The company said they have a new product, or they introduced a new product yesterday. You are saying the same thing, but in your own words. That is the key. So now you know the secret. You do not need a speaking partner. To practice, you can use imitation to train yourself every day. Start small, then move step by step to bigger challenges. This is the path from easy to hard imitation. In the next part, we will go deeper into how to design your own learning routine. We will also talk about how to use imitation to expand your vocabulary and build fluency faster. Stay with me, because the next section will give you clear action steps.